pig of Hungary, and you're going to find out tonight about the special qualities of the meat that comes from these pigs. And I think you're going to be very pleased, and it is the plan of this group to bring the food here into Texas to start, and then hopefully further places in the United States. So we're excited to have everybody here to introduce the Mangalica pig. I want to extend a special thanks to Chef Charles Clark and Shannon Smith, who put this food together and invited the group, helped invite the group. It's just been wonderful. I want to thank Vladimir and Selma Wines for giving us the Prosecco to start with and the dessert wine at the end also. And especially big thanks to Krista and Frito Landa, who really have organized this. Frito will be the importer. His selected food and beverages will be the importer here of the Mangalica pork. The one important thing to give feedback, one of the reasons that the people came from Hungary, and I'll introduce them later, but the reason that they're here is we want to get feedback from you people in the industry, in the food industry. What type of cuts do you want? How do you want it? What quantities do you think you can have, so we can be sure and have enough here for you to take place, to be here when you're ready and your customers start demanding it. So I will introduce, probably he'll come up during the first course, not the appetizer, but Peter Toth will come up and speak. He has a wonderful presentation about the history of the Mangalica, the qualities, the aspects of what makes this such a unique food product and how good it is for people. Peter Toth is the director of the National Association of Mangalica Pig Breeders in Hungary. Also, we'll have a presentation from László, Madarász, who is the marketing director of Pig Szeged. Pig Szeged is the largest slaughterhouse in Hungary of the Mangalica pork, and he will be, what comes here will be slaughtered in his place. And I just want to tell everybody, this is a dialogue, not a lecture. So when Peter or László are up here talking, or even with me, if you have any questions, just interrupt, because the feedback is the really important part to it. So here's the appetizer. Charles, you weren't here, but I'm extending a very big thank you to you and Shannon for doing this for us. This is wonderful.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you. And if you want to...
This first course here is going to be oysters, Louisiana oysters roasted on the half shell with a little bit of Parmesan herb butter with a big crackling made from the skin and a little bit of the belly. So it's crunchy, but it's got a rich flavor, and oysters in peak season, so enjoy it.
Thank you, and we'll be eating, and then you'll see the presentation later. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, sweetie. As usual.
Yes, please.
Oh, yes, they want them to fill out our box. That's what I was saying. If you want me to write that sign,
and how they were paired. So anyway, Peter Toth, please come up and start your presentations. We enjoyed the first course.
Okay, thank you very much for coming and participate in this interesting event. So this is the Mangalica, a unique hairy pig, woolly pig in the world. And this is a photo that I took 2006, and it was one of our farms. A very nice picture. So I will talk about a history, not only about a pig or about a meat, but an entire history. That this is a background, a very unique story that we have for the Mangalica. So starting with the Mangalica, I should mention that our Mangalica is a very old animal, the unique indigenous historic pig breed in Hungary, and was originated in the Roman Empire period when Hungary formed part of the Roman Empire as Pannonia. And you can see here some gold medals, money that time, that the Roman soldiers used for buy ham. Not a surprise, because the people at the time 2,000 years ago could not write or read. So the ancestor of the Mangalica was a kind of white boar, and not was fatty at all, because it was a kind of very semi-white conditions, living in the forest before the Turkish Empire, in the Hungarian Carpathian Basin. After that, the condition of the life became better. So the people eat better, and they had more left food for the pigs. So the pigs became more fattier. And this is the Bakonyi pig, the direct ancestor of the Mangalica, now extinguished, because in 1833 Hungary started the production of the original Mangalica pig. That it was made by a special cross, but the Austrian Emperor of Hungary, Joseph, imported 9 pigs from Serbia and made a special cross and made a special, very, very fatty pig. It's very important. The Hungarian Mangalica is a fatty pig, the fattiest pig of the world, because the main reason of the development of the Mangalica was produce high quantity of fat. Because at that time, I am talking about the 19th century, in Hungary and in Central Europe, we had not olive oil, of course. We had not sunflower oil, because the sunflower oil was invented only 100 years ago. So that time the unique source of energy for the industrial workers was the lard and the fat. So the Hungarian agricultural system developed the Mangalica. It was the world record. So you can say that in some cases 79% of the body of those animals was fat and lard. It's amazing. It also, you can see the photo taken 100 years ago, that it was a typical Mangalica, and you can see that it's completely unchanged. So the actual Mangalica has the similar shape. You can see a very old photo, very fatty, 20 centimeters of lard. It was a typical lard producer pig. But the things were changed 100 years ago. In the 1920s, modern white pig was introduced in Europe. So this is the first advertisement, publicity, for a kind of salami, that the pig Szeged, also very famous for the pig salami. It was a older kind of salami in Budapest, but made from white pig. But it was some examples until the Second World War that the Mangalica breeders made big records. It was the biggest pig in the history, 420 kilos weight. So, but in the Second World War, all of the Mangalica sector was collapsed. The people suffered a lot, and after the Second World War, the communist government decided to end the era of the Mangalica. So they started to raise modern white pig in big industrial farms, and the Mangalica was nearly extinct. Only in some genetic banks, gene banks, was maintained less of 200 Mangalica until 1990. So, from the blonde, because we have 3 colors of Mangalica, from the blonde only 130, and from swallow bellied and red only less of 40 animals was left. And 1991 was the moment when I started work with the Mangalica, because I studied in Spain and I realized that the Spanish people has a special love for a high quality pork meat. They bought hams from everywhere to make Serrano ham. So I started search for a special pig for them, and I bought the last remaining Mangalica pigs at that time from 200 animals. So it was the typical picture. It was a picture taken by myself in 1991 in the last Mangalica Jane Bank in the Hungarian Great Plain, the Hungarian Puszta. And nowadays we have the similar system. So as you can see, the animals live outside. It was the first shipment, and we try to make ham and we reach a high quality of ham, but you can see that there are a high amount of fat. But this is the meaning that not only the fat, not only covering the meat, but from inside of the meat. So very well marbled and tasty meats, we discovered that we have a very good raw material for high ranking production. But it was no any regulation of the Mangalica production. So 21 years ago, we established the Association of Mangalica Breeders. I became the president, and still I am the president of the association. We established a very small association with 5 members, but actually we have 220 members with 10,000 so, and became one of the strongest and most organized animal gene managing association of Europe. So as you see that it was very few numbers of animals grew up, and we are near 10,000 number. Let's see some pictures about the typical actual Mangalica. This is an actual blonde colored, blonde hairy Mangalica. This is the typical one. And as you see, it's very similar that you see in the old pictures. That means that this is the unique unchanged pig in the history. We have a living fossil. That means that the last 200 years we not changed the pig any. So the Mangalica of today produce the same quality that produced the Mangalica in 1833. That when you taste this meat, you taste the meat that was the meat 200 years ago, all of the pig in Europe. This is the, we call it swallow-bellied, that this is a black and white, and there is a red color also. The unique difference between the 3 types is only the color of the hair, so you cannot see the difference in the meat. Some nice picture. This is a traditional open housing of the sows. This is a typical farrowing, straw bed. More interesting picture. So this is the typical farm of semi-open housing Mangalica breeds. We have a kind of bio Mangalica production facility in the Hortobágy National Park, the Great Plain summer, and even in the winter. So this animal can live in any condition. So about the marketing. So we established the system that we have 220 members of the association. The average size of farm is only 50 sows, so mainly family and farmers, small families. And we produce 60,000 Mangalica per year. But from the 60,000, 40,000 goes to local markets, goes to farmer markets, slaughtering, and only 20,000, 25,000 goes to slaughterhouse. And this activity is controlled by myself, and this is the slaughterhouse, the pig Szeged, that later you will hear other presentation. Some interesting details. Why is the Mangalica actually the best tasting pig ever in the world? So one part is the feed, because one part of the keeping technology, so semi-open housing and big places to big fences, but of course it's very important that the Hungarian feed for the Mangalica, and it's obligatory by the law, it's very, very traditional. No soybean, no GMO, no artificial, no hormones, no nothing, only grains. Only grains, barley, wheat, sunflower, corn, minerals, vitamins. So, of course, with these kind of feeding system, the animal go very, very slow. And genetically, the Mangalica is a very slow growing pig. So a purebred Mangalica is nearly 2 years to reach 150 kilos, 300 pounds. So this time give the possibility that the meat will be mature and a dark color, red, marbled, high quality meat, rich in vitamins, irons, hemp, iron, very important. And also, you will notice the taste of the meat quite different, more juicy, more tender, more aromatic. And this is the reason there's a genetic background, because the fatty acid component, the fatty acid composition of the Mangalica fat is different. The Mangalica produce more oleic acid in the fatty acid components and less stearic acid. That means that the oleic acid, this is the basic component of the olive oil or sunflower oil, and makes that the Mangalica fat is softer and the melting point of the back fat is lower, so it's even easier to digest. But what makes the Mangalica meat so attractive for the people? So this is the marbling. So the meat of the Mangalica is very marbled. That means because it's a fatty pig, so the depositing the fat inside of the meat and making a kind of marbling, like you can say in the Kobe beef. So not a surprise that the Japanese buyer called the Mangalica pig as a Kobe pig. Yes. Later on I will show some photos from our Japanese adventure. And this is a ham factory, because still nowadays is our biggest market for the hams is Spain, because they make a good quality Serrano ham. It's also pata negra, very similar, very close the quality to the Iberico de Bellota. Also Blackfeet, because the Mangalica also is a Mediterranean origin pig like the Iberico. This is the final product. The Spanish company Montenevado sells it with the labeling Mangalica. Same in Hungary, so we give the certificate for them and they use the name. Of course, except the leg, all of the parts stay in Hungary, and so we made a special agreement with the Pigsaget slaughterhouse, meat factory, the oldest and biggest Hungarian meat company, and we slaughter the pigs in Pigsaget, and all of the different parts that you can taste here, the loin, belly, the core, different parts produced by the pig and sold by pig everywhere. So, but in Hungary, and a lot of countries in Europe are very popular, not only the fresh meat in the market, not only in the HoReCa system, but we're selling sausage and salami. That is a typical Hungarian paprika sausage. And you can see the emblem of the Mangalica Association. So we give them all of the certification. That is a certificated sausage, a certificated salami. That this is the best product ever. I tasted. This is the traditional Hungarian winter salami, made from Mangalica with original recipe, using the original recipe. But of course, we are in a modern time, so we celebrate a lot of events, a lot of festivals, gastronomic events, and this is the Google search by, you can see, when we celebrate a Mangalica festival in Hungary, or a Mangalica presentation worldwide, and there is a lot of searching by the Mangalica world in the internet. So you can see that the attention of the people going up and going down depending on the marketing activity of the association. Finally, I will show some photos about our advertisement and position in different countries. From 2008, together with the pig, we are in the Japanese market. And we are one of the leaders, so we are in more than 1,000 restaurants. It's exclusively high-ranking top-end restaurants, mainly a lot of Michelin star restaurants, and my best thing in Japan that we are in a restaurant in Kobe City, that where the Kobe Association goes for the Kobe beef, and they run one restaurant, 3 Michelin star restaurants. The name is Kasento, and they have the Mangalica loin in the daily menu. It was the first news about us in the United States in 2009. the New York Times presented a 2-page article about the Hungarian pig, and the name was the next big pig. Mangalica, the next big pig. So, some article of the international press about the Mangalica, because everybody says it's a very cute animal and the quality of the meat is very, very high. So actually we are in the phase of entering and penetrating in new markets. We have enough pig, we saved the animal, but we need the good consumers everywhere, not only in Europe and Asia, but introducing the United States and other countries. So we made a 6-year preparation to can reach the United States, because Hungary had before had no any FDA or USDA certificated slaughterhouse, but the slaughterhouse was in Szeged, but we had some troubles, and I spent 6 years from 2010 until now working hard with the American authorities and the European Union and the Hungarian authorities to make the project working. It was a kind of publicity when we introduced the Mangalica first in the United States, the Mangalica ham. Very few people know that Lana Turner was the first peanut girl. I don't know if there are similar, but the Mangalica is tasty. And this is the older use of the Mangalica. It's a very old photo taken in Germany. It was a circus, a presentation with the Mangalica boar, and actually there is 2 boars because the older animal hiding. But it's a very, very dangerous presentation, and normally we use the Mangalica boar for other purposes. So for us, being here, it's very important. And why? Because we are keeping in Hungary a very old historic breed. We have the gene bank activity, so we should save and maintain the animals. But there is a special way to have the animals in Hungary, saving the animal, because it's a domesticated animal. The unique way is if we eat the animal. So we say in Hungary, saving it by eating them. So if we have good consumers worldwide, there is a demand for Mangalica meat. That means that the Hungarian farmers can raise more and more Mangalica in Hungary. And also, using this technique, we make popular the Mangalica in other countries. So just mention that in Austria, Germany, Romania, and even United States, we have some Mangalica breeders, and we go together. So we help each other, and together we can save the Mangalica and maintain the Mangalica for the next generations. So I need you, and I counting on you, and please eat a lot of Mangalica meat here and other countries to help us to save and maintain genetic resources from Hungary. So thank you very much for your attention, and I am open for questions.
This amazing meal that Chef Charles has prepared for us with this amazing meat. We're now going to get a little presentation about the meat and why it's good to be eating this fat. That when you sit there and see it on the dish and say, "Can you eat this?" The answer is yes. And I think László can explain that to us, why and how. And László is the marketing manager for Ibiza, which is the largest slaughterhouse in Hungary, the one doing the slaughtering of this food that we had tonight. So I think what he has to say is very important, very interesting, and will really sort of create the enthusiasm that we're hoping to create for the Mangalica pig. So László.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. I'm very happy to be here this evening with you, and I'm very proud to present you my company, which is making the link between Peter producing Mangalica pigs in Hungary, and then we processing it into meat cuts, international standard meat cuts that can be brought and sold in the United States, either in restaurants or in retail. And I would like to give you some details about the company. Our company, Ibiza, has a very long history. In 3 years, we're going to be 150 years old company, and the history of this company has been intertwined with that of the Mangalica pig. Our company was founded by Mr. Mark Pick in 1869. Mark Pick was a merchant who was trading Hungarian agricultural products from Hungary to Europe. Spices, mainly paprika, and pork, mainly Mangalica. One of his trips went to Italy, where he actually saw a salami making, and then he got so inspired with the idea of salami that when he came back to Hungary, he was thinking, I've got everything that is needed in order to make good salami. I have good quality pork, I have the spices, and then he started to produce salami. He founded the company in 1896, which in about 15-20 years became a very significant salami maker company, and has been developing ever since then. We are coming to close to 150 years old company, which puts us into same age like some of the famous American companies or international brands you probably know in the food business, coming from Nestle, Heinz, Campbell's, Pillsbury's, Coca-Cola. We are by far the biggest manufacturer in Hungary, with a market share that is more than triple the second. We actually have two types of operations. We slaughter and produce fresh meats, and we also further process the meat into products like hams, salamis, and sausages. Our turnover is about 63 million USD in fresh meat sales, and close to 200 million USD sales in processed meat. And we employ about 3,000 people in Hungary. About 90,000 tons of meat goes through our lines, and we produce 41,000 tons of processed meat altogether. 5,000 of which goes into our world famous winter salami, which we're still producing with the same formula like our founder started 147 years ago. What is also very important for us is that we want to control the entire process from the farm to the table of the consumer. We're actually part of the Farm Group, which has operations in agriculture, pig breeding, and with us at the end of the line, food processing done by Ibiza. We as a group work together in order to control and make sure that the quality and the attention is given throughout the entire process. So we produce the crops that produces the feed that we give to the pigs that we grow, and then we bring into our slaughterhouse, from which we produce fresh meat as well as produce processed meat. Peter already mentioned that Hungary is 100% GMO-free territory, and we actually within the group we're making sure that the high quality standard is kept, and we pay the highest level of attention to every single stage throughout the entire process. There are very few companies who can actually do that in Central Eastern Europe. We are the only group which is vertically integrated to the extent that we manage or control the entire process. And it's the same when it comes to Mangalica, because we work together, the National Association of Mangalica Breeders, Peter represents, who provide the quality assurance system for all the Mangalica pigs that we bring in and further process. Over the 147 years, we extended the business, and we sell in 35 countries, and our products can be found more than 200 international food chains globally, including the USA as well. In order to maintain that international business, we have a robust quality system that complies with all the national and international quality expectations and systems. So we have all the certificates to all the countries that we sell to, and in many cases our customers like Tesco's or Metro are actually posing an even more strict quality standards that we also comply with. We get regular inspections not only from the health authorities but also from our customers, and they can come anytime, and they actually 100% success rate on the quality inspections. Our first product, which we actually still produce with the same traditional recipe like our founder started 147 years ago, is we call the winter salami, where we use only the best quality of pork cuts and a secret recipe of spice. Our founder actually invented a little bit different process than the Italian salami production. We don't air dry it, but we actually smoke it for 2 weeks, and we use only wood, beech wood, that we dry for 2 years in order to make sure that the smoke that it produces has the top quality. And then we cure the salami for 90 days. We put them into curing chambers, and during this time a noble mold is forming on the surface. And this mold is actually giving a very unique appearance, a white coat to our salami, and it's also protecting and managing a very special fermentation or curing process that provides a very unique taste and appearance to our salami. There is one dedicated salami master, which is the most important role in our company. From the very beginning, there is one person, the salami master, who is controlling and supervising the entire process. And this trade is going from generation to generation. Our current salami master has been working in this position more than 25 years, who inherited from the previous salami master, who was in 45 years in this position. We produce high-quality processed meat products for international markets, including salami with mold, without mold, dry sausages. Peter already mentioned our Mangalica products, snack sausages, bacons, hams, cold cuts, and liver pâtés. As well as we produce all the international standard cuts, and we are very flexible to provide specific needs to either market needs or customer needs. A very good example is Japan, where there are very, very specific and unique needs that the Japanese partner favor us because we are able to flexibly adapt and provide whatever customized cuts they request. We are very successful in Japan. When it comes to Mangalica, we also have a very unique position, not only because we are the only company which is capable of slaughtering and cutting the Mangalica pig, but when it comes to international expansion, we are basically the only company which has the license to export broad-scale operations. We are the only company which actually has the license to import Mangalica into the United States. Why Mangalica is so special? Now you have already tasted the meat and you heard lots of good things about this meat, so I just wanted to recap why this is so special, why this is so unique, and why we believe this is a good and interesting opportunity to work together to introduce to the United States. It is a very unique pig. There's no other pig like the Mangalica pig, which has such a long history and such unique properties. There's a very robust quality management system which guarantees you a very high level of quality, because the pigs are bred and raised according to very strong standards provided by Peter's Association, and we make sure that it's processed and cut and processed in the best potential, with the highest potential attention. The Mangalica meat boosts a unique marble texture and richness in unsaturated fatty acids. What does it mean? We talked actually today and yesterday to many of the best chefs in this city, and then many of them actually heard, and one of them was actually very familiar with Mangalica because the chef from Four Seasons actually spent 1 year in Hungary, and 4 Seasons in Budapest. He was very happy to hear that we actually bring in Mangalica. Then he explained why. Because the fat actually comes within the muscles, and then the fat brings the taste, and it provides a very tender feeling to the meat. And then there is a big advantage when you compare to other portions. It makes Mangalica a very unique meat. And this is. I can only prove it with our Japanese experience, which was the first international business that we started to develop. And now Mangalica is sold in more than 1,000 restaurants in Japan and in several other European capitals, with a very high level of satisfaction from the chefs and the clients. And finally, we actually are trying to improve our operations. We are getting even better. We're expanding our slaughtering capacity. We're building the state-of-the-art new slaughterhouse capacity in the south part of Hungary, and this will start operations end of this year, which provides us not only a bigger capacity, but also very high level. We are maintaining the very high level of quality, and it provides us with a much higher level of effectiveness, so we can service our customers, hopefully you, much better in the future. And we are doing everything to improve the business, and I hope we can do that together. So finally, what I wanted to say is that we are here to introduce Mangalica to you. And I really believe that we are having everything that is needed to have a success story. Here we have a good supply of Mangalica meat from Peter's Association. We have the license to import and provide Mangalica to the United States. And we already met with some very enthusiastic friends who learned about Mangalica supported us in order to bring an operation that makes it possible that we bring this unique meat to restaurants, and hopefully in the future retail units also in Houston, maybe expand towards Texas or Southwest region, or eventually to for United States market. So I really hope that we can work on this together. And if you have any question, please come to talk to Peter or myself. And we also have Frida here, who is going to be our importing partner, who is going to be the exclusive representation in this region. So we really hope that together we can start something exciting, and then soon we will have much more Mangalica. Not only the first shipment that you will actually taste it here, but you can see this on the menu of restaurants very soon. Thank you very much for your attention.
If you want to take her, press 1. If you want to send a gift, press 2.
Go to the restaurant.
Peck, on the Mangalica Breeders Association in Hungary, I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. This was an amazing dinner for me. I hope for you. I hope it created the interest in everybody to want to serve Mangalica, to offer it in your restaurants, or to offer it for sale to restaurants if you're a distributor. But this is an exciting thing in Hungary. It's all over the Hungarian news media. This is the first time Hungarian Mangalica pork has ever been exported to the United States. And so it's a big deal in Hungary because it shows the maturation of the industry. It is our intention to have the product here beginning in December, so you will be able to offer it out to your clients for Christmas holidays. And I think that would be something that would be novel and new and exciting. And if it's anything like tonight, I know everybody here, the chefs are all creative, and to have seen what Chef Charles did tonight was incredible, but you see what he had to work with. So I would like to ask Catherine Bittner to stand up. She is with Selected Foods. Catherine, stand up, please. Please talk to Catherine about your needs, because she will be putting together the order that we will be submitting very shortly, so that we can have the food here in early December. Because we need to know what you think will sell best in your restaurants. If you want the shoulder, if you want chops, if you want ribs, if you want collar, what do you want? Pork loins, all of those we can ship. But Catherine will be the one to sort of coordinate that. She will be back in contact with everyone who's been here tonight, so that we can get this order placed and get it here on time. Also, any questions you have about the pork itself, qualities, the chemistry, as Peter showed, it's all on the webpage. The easiest thing to say is just Google Hungarian National Association of Mangalica Breeders, and you'll be able to get their webpage, which has all the information that Peter showed, that László showed. But as László showed, picked us the salamis, but what we're talking about here tonight is the fresh meat for your restaurants. The salamis, we saw the salamis at Central Market, but that's not what we're offering tonight. Tonight is fresh meat for your restaurants. So on behalf of PIC, on behalf of the Hungarian Breeders, on behalf of the government of Hungary, thank you everyone for being here. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, because this was all new for me to eat this. And I know my next trip to Hungary, what I'm going to be ordering at the restaurant. So thank you again. Any questions, please call, ask us, and thank you for honoring us by being here tonight. Good night, everybody.
So we were in the restaurant and said, okay, you guys need to see. They were like, so good. So, and then I go, is this okay? So they sit down, they say, okay, good. Then they grab the laptop and then start playing.
A lot more choices, a lot more family city. A lot more choices, a lot more family city.
Don't forget the money. That worked out. No, it was before the show.
Also fue a comer 3 veces, buenísima reunión con la cocina.
Still have a Ferrari.